This video is about bisecting an angle. In this video, I'll cover basics of bisection, okay? Starting the angle, creating a line. Layering will be added to this, so using the layers to identify the different parts, the different steps in the process, and actually making a angular measurement to ensure that you actually did bisect the angle correctly. So again, in the ribbon here, starting off with the home screen, we're going to start drawing. Make a line. Make a line. I'm going to make an angle. All right. Make that line, and I'm just going to create it. Let's make it nice and big. Let's make it. There we go. All right. So I've created my angle, right? Two arms, vertex. We're good to go. So, as I said in the beginning, I also want to add on layering. So let's cut to that first before we actually get into creating or bisecting. Layer properties. So notice at the top here we have layers stated along this bottom portion. Layers in the ribbon. If I click on layer properties, it's going to give me the layer properties manager. Pops up on the left hand side. Okay. Right now mine's a little big and ornery. I'm going to switch this around a little bit. And again, you can manipulate this by moving its position. Okay. So now you can slide it out. You can put it here. Generally, I don't want it to take over my whole space. So I can adjust. I can make different adjustments to make sure that it doesn't take up my whole computer screen like it's doing now. As you can see, it can be very, very annoying sometimes. Generally, all I really need is this. I want to make this part smaller. I want to make sure I have this part a little bit bigger. Okay, this is really what I really need right now. I'm just going to be adjusting the color, okay, as I add new layers in. Again, mine really is sensitive right now, so we'll leave it as it is. All right, something like this is fine. So, if I want to add a new layer, so right now I have the basic default layer that comes with as soon as you turn everything on, it starts with this basic layer. All right, I want to create a new layer. Notice as I go over any of these, that's what's great about Autodesk is it always gives you the heads up. All I have to do is stop for a second, it'll tell you exactly what it is, and it'll give you a description. So I'm going to go to new layer, okay? And I actually want to do two new layers because I got two steps to build this, okay, to do this construction. I'm going to click on two layers, layer 1, layer 2. If I wanted to go in here and change the names, of course could. I'm not really interested in doing that. I want to change the colors. I want to identify layer 1 as being red. Click OK. So you have a number of different colors to choose from. I generally stick with this palette down here. It's easy, and I usually don't go over the 5 or 6 that I need down here. So I'm going to make that red. Click OK. I'm going to make the second one, layer 2, yellow. Nice colors, stand out pretty well. All right. Once I've done this in this layer properties manager, I can then make it small. Okay. I don't want to exit out yet because I might want to come back later, but I can auto hide it. Okay, gone for the present. All right, now notice that under layers here, I now have layer 1, layer 2 that I can go in between. So if I want to create an arc now that is red, showing my first step, so layer 1, I come to arc. Remember, center, start, end is very similar to using a compass by hand, and we're doing everything by hand first, so this is the first place to go. So center, so we start there, and my center is going to be at my vertex. And the first arc, again, it doesn't want to be huge. I need to make sure that it intersects with both of these arms, and then I don't want to make it too small because I want to have a little more space out here, so somewhere around here. And remember, the other piece to swinging the arc, left to right, so I need to start above this if I'm going to swing in this direction. Okay. So I'm going to come up here, doesn't really matter, make mine 12, doesn't really matter for what we're doing here, and I'm just going to swing it through. Okay. Now I have this in front of me. I have two intersection points, and that's what I needed from my first arc. I need the two intersection points. one on the arm, top arm, one on the lower arm here. Okay, call these, label them whatever you want. But notice that it did come out as red because I identified what I wanted to do as layer A, layer 1. Now I'm going to click on layer 2. I want my next one to be yellow. And as we know from doing this, okay, I need to swing another arc from those 2 intersection points. Okay, so I'm going to do the top one first, and again I'm going to go a little bit higher. It doesn't matter how big it is, it does have to be longer than 8.1236, right? Because I have to be able to have, when I swing it, it has to be over half that size. Those have to be able to meet. So I'm going to make it, I usually just stick with the same number, so if I made the first arc 12, I'm going to make the second arc 12 as well. I'm going to draw it out here. Do the same thing. So from the other intersection point, right? My other intersection point, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make mine, it's going to be 12 again, and that is critical. If it's not 12, if it's any other number, okay, besides the number that you used for that arc you just made, it's not going to work. So I type in 12, hit enter, and I'm going to swing an arc, and there we have it. We have an intersection point here based on these intersection points. So now, I've got my layers. I got my 2 steps, right? Step 1, swinging the first arc. Step 2, those other 2 arcs. All right. Now, I'm going to lay down my line, my bisector. That wants to be in white because that is what I ultimately am doing this for, is to get that bisector. Okay. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to go to that point of intersection. All right, I'm going to zoom right in, and now I've nailed it. Going right to that point of intersection. Okay. We have 2 equal arcs. Now if I want to check that at the end, did I do it right? Did it work out? I can go to my under annotation, I can go to my measurement tools, okay, and I can come into angular. Click on angular, and now it's going to look like a little eraser thing. You click on the 2 arms that you want to measure. So I'm going to go to my bisector, and then the top, okay, I'm going to pull it in the inside there. I'm going to do the same thing. Do another angular measurement down here. I'm going to do the bisector to the bottom. I'll zoom in and see. Voila. Please note that we have 2 20s. Okay? If you have any questions about this, please let me know. All right? This is how we build these.